Good morning, everyone. In the last session, we will try to understand the generator, how the generator classes are implemented, and so what are the different types of generator we identified in the last class. And today, we try to discuss more about the mapping class inheritance here. So we already identified some information here, how this particular mapping classes are going to work. Now observe how this particular mapping classes are going to implement here. So mapping class inheritance. Now you can see this particular mapping class inheritance, how many types of this particular mapping class inheritance we are having here. So we are having three types of mapping class inheritance here. Basically, so what exactly the mapping class inheritance are going to provide the information. And here inside this particular mapping class here, one table for every class here. So one table for every class here. But sometimes what happen here, whenever we are having some superclass functionality, so how we can identify it here, those properties where we are going to create it here. Getting the point. So inheritance is one of the our visible feature here. Getting the point. So between our object oriented and relational words here. Basically, so how we are going to integrate with our superclasses with our databases here. So this we need to understand here, like what are the ways we can identify this mapping class inheritance here. So let's see, here we are having, so three types of inheritance here. I'm going to write the particular three types of inheritance here. And here, table for concrete class. This is the one type of mapping inheritance here, and another one table for class hierarchy. And third one table for subclass. Getting the point. So table for subclass here. So these are the three classes we are having inside this particular mapping class inheritance here. So we need to understand the how exactly the each one is going to work. So first we'll discuss about this particular table for concrete class. Table for concrete class. So how exactly this particular table for concrete class is going to work. So suppose here we are having the simplest approach here. So we could exactly one table for one class here. So here we are not going to include any abstract classes or interfaces here. Getting the point. But all the properties, whatever the properties we are getting from the super classes are here, we are going to include into the subclass here. Getting the point. So for example, how exactly this is going to work. So let's see. Here we are having billing details here. Billing details class, and some properties we are having here. So owner string data type, and some another property called number. This is also string, and so where when it is created, and it is a date property. Now if you observe carefully, so this particular we are trying to discussing about the table for concrete class here. So in this case, now how we are going to write here? How we are going to write here? This is our super class, and we are going to discuss about these are the two subclasses here. The first subclass name, the first subclass here, credit card, and another one here, bank account. But how we are going to provide this particular billing details? So using either credit card or we can go for the bank account here. We can provide the payment option with help of this particular credit card or bank account here. So in this case, like what are the property we are going to have here? So inside this particular credit card, now we'll have a what type of this particular credit card it is. So the type I'm going to make as a into and expired month year. This is also we can make in string year. Expire year. This is also string year. Right. So this is all about the credit card section. Same way inside this particular bank account here, name of the bank name we can go for this string and so bank account number. Getting the point. Now observe here, whenever we are trying to discuss about this particular table for concrete class. Table for concrete class here. Now what you are understanding here, how many tables we are going to create here? Here we will create two tables here. So what are the two tables we are going to create here? So now you can see first table we are going to create credit card and another one will create our bank account here. But here whenever we are trying to create this particular credit card here, how we are going to add the billing details information here. Billing details information. So this is very important here. Now if you observe here, so this is I'm trying to create the table for the credit card here and we will have a credit card underscore ID. So this is our primary key. Okay. So along with this, now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to copy the super class of properties here. What are the super class properties we are having here? The first one, owner, getting the point, and some number we are having and created date. And later we'll add the credit card information, type and sorry. So we don't need type here. Directly expire month and expire year. Now what you are understanding here, if you see carefully here, so these are the three are coming from the super class. So these are the three coming from the super class properties here, right? And sorry, we missed one more property here, but now you can see. So these are the coming from the subclass here. These are the properties are coming from the subclass here. Now what you are understanding here, whenever we are trying to work on the table for concrete class here, how many the subclasses we are going to have? For each subclass, we are going to create a table here. Getting the point. For each subclass, we are going to create a table. And same way, for bank account also, we are going to create, along with the superclass properties, will include the subclass properties here. Now what you are understanding here, these many columns we are going to create here. So these are indicating the columns in the which table we are going to create here. The table we are going to create as a credit card here, not the billing details here. Getting the point, not the billing details here. Getting the point. So this is very important. We need to understand here when we are trying to work on this particular table for concrete class. But if you observe here, if I want to run any SQL query here, getting the point. So if I want to run any SQL query, how we are going to write here? So for example, the credit card related SQL query I want to write. Now you can see, select so credit card ID, comma, owner and number and created date and type, expire month and expiry year. So from which table we are going to make the query? Carrying the point. Credit card owner number, created date and type expiry month and expiry year. So from which table we are going to write the query here? From the which table we'll try to load the data here. So the table here, credit card. And here we'll have a condition here. So we can go for the either any condition, credit card ID or type, carrying the point. So some condition here. So created date is equal to question mark. So now what you are understanding here, for each sub table, like whenever we are trying to work on the each subclass for the one table, how many queries we want to generate to find out the billing details information along with our the credit card or bank details information. So this query is related to credit card. This query is related to credit card here. Now we want to define the one more select query to work on our bank details here. Getting the point? Because the table is different here. Whenever the table is different here, now what we can do? We need to write a one more query because these two table we don't have any relation here. So this particular two table we don't have any relation here. Now what you are understanding here? So if you observe, whenever for each concrete subclass, carrying the point, each concrete subclass here, we are going to create a separate query here. We are going to create a separate query to find out the such information here. Getting the point. Now, how many subclasses we are going to write here? We need to define these many queries here. So this is the one important information we need to understand whenever we are trying to create the table based on our concrete class here. Okay. So we'll go for the one more here, table for class hierarchy. Getting the point. So table for class hierarchy. So in this case, how we can define the table here? Whenever we are having, this is the relation here, the billing details and the credit card and the bank account. The same relation we are going to have here. So using this particular same relation here, how we are going to create the table. So this we need to understand here. So now observe any questions regarding this particular concrete class. So first we'll see if anyone having any questions here. Okay. So if we don't have anything here, now what I will do, I will try to clear this particular console here. Now, so we need to understand here the second one, table for class hierarchy. So second one, how it's going to work with the help of this particular three classes here. So this is our super class. Getting the point. This is our super class and this is our subclass here. This is also one of the subclass here. Wow. Okay. So now observe here how we are going to write here with the help of this particular table for class hierarchy. Now here if you observe the entire class hierarchy could be mapped to the single table here. Getting the point. If, like for example, we are having three classes here. These three classes information we are going to map into the single table here. So for these three classes, now what you are understanding here? we are going to create only the single table here. With help of this particular single table here, we'll try to map the all the properties here. So how we are going to map the all the properties here? So this particular mapping strategy is our both the performance and simplicity, because we are going to connect our only one table. So based on this particular ID, we'll try to find out the some information here. So if we want to find out the credit card information, whenever we are trying to finding the credit card information, so we'll get the bank account details as well, because we can perform only one operation, like we can store only one kind of details here. Either we can go for the credit card or we can go for the bank account here. Getting the point. So, but now how we are going to provide this all the properties into the one table here. So as we discussed in the last class, we are going to work on the one concept called discriminator column. With help of this particular discriminator column here, we'll try to focus on the how this particular the properties are going to injected into the one table here. So let me add this particular the column called discriminator column here. But now, so you can see how this particular table I'm trying to defining here. First one, so billing details ID, getting the point. So this particular billing details ID will work as a primary key, right? So this particular billing details ID, and later here we'll define the billing details type. So this is the type is going to work as a, so which type of data we want to insert in here. Either we are going to insert the credit card or we are going to insert the bank account here. So this particular information is going to provided by this particular billing details type here. Okay. Now we'll see how this particular billing details type is going to, we are going to differentiate here. And later, so this is our owner number, so created date here. So these are coming from the where here. This information we are trying to get from the billing details class. And now credit card type here. And credit card month here. Expiry here. So if you observe, only we provided the credit card. Same way we can work on the bank details here. Same way we can work on the particular bank details. Now we will see. So I'm trying to write here the table section here so that we'll get more all the properties here. So we completed the credit card section here. Now, so what we can do? We can define the billing related information here. So bank account, bank account to bank name, and bank account number. Getting the point. So this is the way we are going to create the columns in our database here. But only we need to understand here, we cannot make the not null constraint here. So why we cannot make the not null constraint here? Because we are going to work on the only one table information here. So for example, we'll work on the only this particular credit card information. Whenever we are trying to work on the credit card here, so the bank details we may get null here. The particular bank details we may get null here. So because of this, now what I'm doing is I'm trying to make, so we cannot use the not null constraint here. We cannot go for the not null constraint. So this is very important here. But here, how we are going to work on this particular discriminator column here. Getting the point. So how we are going to work on this particular discriminator here. So to work on this particular discriminator here, now we'll try to understand the mapping document here. So for example, if you think about this is all about okay, let me copy here. So otherwise, what we can do, we'll create a classes here. Now, where is our package? Go for this particular com.spring.hibernate here. Now I want to create our base class here. Billing details. Inside this particular billing details here, now what I want to write here, private long ID, private string, what are the information we provided here, owner here. Private string here, some number, date and created date. Okay. So this is, we are going to work on the java.util date here. This is all about our billing details class. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm trying to creating one more class here. Credit card here. So inside this particular credit card here, now what we can do? Long ID, private here, type here. We can go for the type as a string here. And expire month and expire year. Getting the point. So now generating constructor, default constructor and setters and getters for this particular credit card. Now if you observe, this particular credit card is going to extend from the billing details here. Okay, same way what I will do, I will create a one more class, bank account. Inside this particular bank account here, long ID, private here, bank name and so bank number. Bank number is nothing but account number. And generate all the properties here. And so extends from the billing details, right? So this is the classes we created here. Now we need to work on our mapping document here. So to work on this particular mapping document here, now what we can do? So for this particular concrete class here, we need to create our each subclass. To create each subclass here, now what are the ways we can create? So first we need to create credit card here. First we need to create our credit card here, right? So this is not a much information we can go for the credit card information we can create here. But now the problem when we are trying to work on the table for class hierarchy, because table for concrete class we are going to create the each table, we'll try to inject the properties here. Okay, so this is not a problem here. We'll try to create a similar classes and we'll provide the information. But now here I'm creating here billing details here. So billing details dot hbm dot xml file I'm going to create here, and inside this particular billing details here, okay, so let me close other classes information, and now what we can do, billing details. The table name here we are going to create as a billing details here. And now if you observe, we'll have a one property here, so discriminator value. Getting the point? So discriminator value. So based on this particular discriminator value, we'll try to differentiate. So this value for the credit card or billing, what we can call it as a bank account here. We can go for the bank account here. So this is we are going to differentiate here. Okay, for this particular billing details, I'm making as a BD. So this particular BD is going to differentiate only billing details information. Right. Now, so let me provide, so billing details, details we are going to find here, and ID we are having. So what is the column we can define here? So billing details ID, and we'll try to work on the increment. So no problem here. We can go for the increment here. And so what are the remaining properties we are having? Let me enable this particular billing details here. So we are having owner property. Column also we can make, and type string here. Okay. Now you can see after owner we can go for the number here. And I want to I'll add one more property here, created date. So this particular created date, the column will work on the created date, and we can define the type here, date here. Right. So this is all about the basic information we provided here. The basic information we provided. Now we want to define the subclass here. So why we need to create the subclass here? Basically, this is our base class here. So now what we are doing here, the subclass property also we are injecting into which table? Billing details here. Okay, let's see how we can create a subclass here. Now you can see we are having subclass tag here. With the help of this particular subclass, we are going to work on the subclasses related information, and we'll have a here name here. Here we are having a name here. So what exactly, what is the name of our subclass here? So the subclass name here, credit card. And we need to provide the discriminator value here. Getting the point. So for this particular credit card here, I'm changing to the CC. So why I'm changing to this particular CC here? So inside this particular CC, so it's going to provide the credit card related information here. Credit card related information here. Getting the point. And so I provided here after ID, we need to provide one tag called discriminator here. So this particular discriminator is going to store the value here. Where it is going to store, in the which column? The column we need to define here. So billing details type. Billing details type. And we can provide type as a string here. Getting the point. So extra column we are creating here. So to understand whether we are trying to store the data, credit card information or bank account information. Okay, now I want to provide the properties here. The properties, what are the properties we can store? Credit card information properties here. So first here ID. So ID is going to generate it automatically. But now, so I think we don't need ID here because based on the details type here, we are trying to find out the information here. Based on this particular typo, okay, so we'll see without adding what will happen here. Billing details HPM. Type I want to provide. And the column also credit card type. So otherwise, okay. And what is the type we are having here? String. All are strings only. So this is all about our subclass here. Sorry. exp underscore month here. This is also string here. And finally, we need to work on the expert year. Getting the point. These are the informations here. Right? Now we created credit card here. So now what we can do? We'll create an object and we'll insert the data. But here, so to work on the one more, the subclass call here, what is our one more subclass we are having? Bank account. Bank account here. And the bank account detail we need to provide here. Bank name and what happened? Sorry. And here we can change to the BA. So this particular BA is indicating bank account. And another one we are having bank number. Type I want to use same. So this extra column we removed here. Okay. So this is all about the table creation here. Now what we can do here, we'll go for the main class. And I will add here cfg dot add class billing details dot class. Okay. And after adding here, now what we can do, so let me comment out user related information. And here, what are the information we need to create here? We need to create our credit card information. So credit card CC is equals to new. So new credit card here. Once we created this particular credit card section here, now how we are going to store the data? cc dot so ID, we are not going to set ID, and first we'll provide the owner information. So owner here, I want to provide so billing details. cc dot number. This particular billing details number, something I want to give. And after setting this particular billing details properties, now we'll try to set our credit card information type here. So this is the credit card type here, something we are having CC type. And expire month. Expire year 2021. And CC dot set to created date. Today date we are going to give. We'll provide the today date here. And now, so what I want to write here, I want to save this particular CC here. Getting the point. I want to save here CC, and here instead of billing detail, we can go for the credit card here. Right. Now observe, I'm trying to save. I'm trying to run our application here. Okay. Right. So here we cannot create the credit card. Class not found credit card. Oh. Why the class is not found? Entity class not found. Mapping exception. Created law of those disabling the law of creations. From where is trying to load? Okay, map or classes is trying to load. I'm going to add CFG. Again, we'll get an error here. But let's see any class name we provided wrong. CREDIT. Okay. So correct only we provided here. Class loader for name. Get mapped classes, Okay. Now, right. So basically, the CSV we cannot give here. So if I'm going to give, it's going to give sorry. Right. I think here we need to change here the package. Now observe, we'll try to run our application one more time. So bank account, class not found. So we'll see what we provided here, ACCOUNT. So account is wrong, we provided here. And rename this particular file name. Okay. Now run this particular application one more time. Now you can see the data is inserted here. So how this particular table is created? With help of this particular hb.ce billing details here. Now we'll try to find out the select star from hb.ce billing details here. Now you can see the credit card type we are having CC, so June and 2021, and here the bank name and bank number. So we made as a null here. Why? Because we are trying to work on with the credit card payment here, not for the bank account here. Getting the point. So now you can see here the billing detail type we are having CC here. So whenever we are having the bank account, it may be changed to the BA here. It may be changed to the BA. So one more example we can see. So here I am not going to work on the credit card here. Now how we are going to work here? With help of this particular bank account here. Getting the point. So owner bank name here, we can go for the SBI. So bank number, some random number I want to give. This is all about our bank number. Bank number is nothing but account number. And the created date here, we can go for the today date here. And ID we are not going to provide such number. So this is particularly billing details number here. Something I want to give random number. Software number, owner we need to specify. This particular owner will go for the bank account. And here I want to save BA. Getting the point. Here I want to save BA here. So let's see if I'm going to run the same example here. Now the data is inserted into the which table? Same table here. Now again we can go for the same table here. Let me run the query here. Now you can see data is now inserted with BA this is our billing detail type, and now you can see credit card information is null, and bank account related information we are getting here. Getting the point. So this is the way we can go for the table for class hierarchy here. The concrete class hierarchy, how we are going to write? For each class we are going to create the table. So simple one here, the mapping we are going to make as a credit card. If I'm going to work on the credit card here, so if I'm going to work on the bank detail, we'll go for the mapping to the billing bank details here, and we'll create like same object here. So how we created credit card and how we created bank account, because the bank account and credit card both are extending from the billing detail class, right? So when we are trying to work on the concrete class here, we are going to create a two table here. So one for the credit card and another for the bank account, right? And the mapping also we are making for the credit card and bank account. But observe this hierarchy, how we are creating it. We are having all the properties into the one table. All the properties into the one table. So same property we created or not. Now you can see ID, details type, owner created date, and credit card information, bank account information. Getting the point. So this is all about the hierarchy class. So now finally we need to discuss about the table for subclass. So this particular table for subclass here, it is related to our so database related information here, how we are going to work on this particular relation with our foreign key here. We are going to make some relation between the foreign key. So let me work on this particular, the final one. Okay. So we'll keep as it is this information, because we are going to work on the same these three classes only. So now this is our third option to represent the inheritance relationships here. So and this particular relationships are going to work based on the particular foreign key association here. Getting the point. So every subclass that is going to declare the persistence class properties here. Every subclass here is going to declare the persistence class properties. So what are the persistence class here? So what are the model classes? What are the POJO classes we are going to integrate with the databases? So those classes we are going to call it as our persistence classes here, right? And now you can see, so in this case here, what are the classes we are going to create here? We are going to create here all the tables here. All the tables here. So we are going to create our billing details table, and we'll create our credit card table, and we'll go for the bank account. But here, so these are it's going to work based on the primary key, foreign key references here. So this particular billing ID is going to make the relation between the credit card. Same way, this particular billing ID is going to make the relation with our bank account here. So based on this particular primary key and foreign key, we are going to create our table here. So let's see with the help of this particular joined subclass here. Getting the point. So joined subclass, we are going to make the relation here. So to understand here, first what we need to do, we need to create the three tables here. We need to create the three tables here. So to create this particular three tables here, first we need to provide so these two sections I'm going to make as a comment here. And here I'm going to make as this particular discriminator, and where is our discriminator value? So this is also we need to make comment. Right. So this is all about our billing details table here. What happened here? So the comment is giving any error? I think so. Right. So this particular comment is giving an error. So I added below here. Okay. Back to here. Now observe carefully. These are the properties which are coming from the billing details. Now we'll create one more mapping file. We'll create one more mapping file. So the mapping file is indicating sorry. So credit card dot HBM dot XML. Credit card dot HBM dot XML here. So this is the one file we created here. And now credit card and so credit class. Okay, and we are having ID and we are going to make as a long and so this ID is indicating to the credit card ID. Okay, now observe. So we'll go for the same here, increment here and properties. So we need to focus on the properties here. What are the properties we are having? So instead of writing here, now what we can do, we'll copy from here. Okay, now remove this. So we don't want to use this also. And right, so this is indicating our credit card. Same way, we'll create our one more file. So this is will indicate here bank account. So bank account dot HBM dot XML file. Now bank account here. Bank account and bank account ID. And these are the two properties we'll copy from the right. This is the table we created, like the mapping file we created for the bank account as well as our credit card here. But here, if you observe inside this particular billing details mapping file, we are going to work on the some information here. So what are the information we are going to work? If you observe carefully, here we'll try to provide the so the information. Now observe, here we'll go for the joined subclass here. Joined subclass. So previously we connected with the subclass here. Now we are going to work on the joined subclass. And here the name we need to provide. The name we need to provide. So name here we need to work on the object like the particular class information. So what is the class we are going to make here? So credit card here. And we need to work on the table here. We need to work on the table. So what is the table we are going to join here? The table we are going to join here, credit card, right? So once we join this particular table here, and here we need to provide the, why it is giving an error? Let me save. So this error is resolved or not. Is incomplete is much match with synchronize lines of class loader query and complete must be matched with the synchronize key. Okay, so we'll provide the key here, no problem. So name we provided, table we provided, and so we need to provide the key here. So this particular key is going to work on the primary key and foreign key relation here. Getting the point? So this particular key is going to work on the primary key and foreign key here. The name of the key column, so what we provided in our what we can call it as a credit card table. Credit card ID, right? So we'll see whether this is matching with the joint subclass or not. And so if it is getting any error, now what we can do, we'll copy all the properties into this particular table here. Now, so this is second one I'm trying to create here. Bank account. Right. And bank account ID. Make the format here. We identified subclass information here. Okay. So now what I want to write here, so we'll try to work on this particular information. Let me insert the data here. What happened? Okay, so we'll connect the same application bank account here. So JDBC exception we are getting here. So it's trying to insert it into this particular billing details here. So constant we are getting could not synchronize with the database state with the session here. Null value in the column called billing details type here. Relation CE billing details here. Okay. So here we are having billing details type here. Now it is not updated with the particular object, the table here. Basically, we need to recreate the table here. We need to recreate this particular table here. So to create this particular table, now what is our Hibernate property file? So maybe this is going to remove the data here, whatever the data we stored so far. So the data will not available here. Okay, so anyway, first we need to work on the current functionality, how it is working here. So create hyphen drop here. Basically, this will create the table for how many times we are going to run this application. For all the time, the tables are going to created here. Now you can see, so it's trying to find out the max value, and it will try to load the information. So billing details and bank account, and how many values we are having. So owner, number, created data, and billing detail ID. So 4 values here. And the same way, only bank account ID. What about this particular 2 columns here? Only 1 column data is inserted. Okay, anyway, so first we'll try to find out the information. So in this case, the structure is different here. So now observe the structure is changed here. And we need to work on this particular bank account here. Select star from bank account. Only 1 column is created here. What about the remaining column? If you observe, the remaining column we did not provided in our billing details table here. Only the key column we provided here. Right. So now what we can provide here, we need to provide the remaining columns as well. So to provide this particular remaining columns here, we'll go for the property. And this is for our credit card. And subclass is closed here. So we are having one more column, and this is our final column. Right. So we'll keep as it is here. Now I'm going to run one more time the same application here. Now you can see the three columns we are getting here. Three columns we are getting. Here we are getting 4. So now if I'm going to run the data here, so now you can see, so bank name and bank number we are getting here. So bank account ID 1. And the same way, if I'm going to run billing details, the billing details also we are having 1. Okay, now observe, again I'm going to run the same example here. We need to understand the foreign key and primary key relations here. What happened? Only 1 year. Oh, sorry. We need to update the property file. We need to update this because every time it's trying to create a new table here. Now observe, the tables are already created. It's inserted. So first time it is inserted. Now we'll go for the second time insertion. Now second time also the data is inserted. Now what we need to understand here, if I'm going to run, so these are the 3 records we are having. So 1, 2, 3. So just focus here, bank account ID, we are having here 1, 2, 3. And same way, if I'm going to run this particular billing detail, we are having 1, 2, 3. Getting the point? So here we need to get the different IDs here. But why we are not getting the different IDs here? Getting the point? So because of this particular, what we added here, joined subclass here. Whenever we are adding this particular joined subclass here, now what you understanding is, so we are trying to make the subclass information to this, and this particular key is going to work as a primary key and foreign key relation here. Getting the point? So primary key for this particular bank account and foreign key for this particular billing details here. Same ID is working in the both locations here. Getting the point? So this is all about the table for subclass here. So any questions regarding our these 3 information so far what we discussed here? So far what we discussed here. Okay. So now we'll try to understand the association here. So this is also very important association we need to understand. Now we understand the mapping class inheritance here. Now we'll go for the association concepts here. Let me provide the information how this particular association is going to work. Okay. So to understand this particular association, first we need to understand how many types of association we are going to have. So what exactly the associations contain in our Hibernate here. Now here we are having different types of association. One to one, one to many, many to one, many to many. Getting the point. These are the main 4 types of association here. So how we are going to work on the one to one relation and one to many relation and many to one and many to many here. Getting the point. So these are the relations we need to understand to work on the different kinds of application here. Getting the point. So one to one is nothing but here. So for example here, user is connected to the address. Getting the point. So user is connected to the address here. So this is where we will have a one user, one address. One user and one address. So for example, one to many. Now here, if you focus here, for one to many, here we are going to have list of address. Here we will have list of address. So for one user, it may contain multiple address here. Multiple address here. Getting the point. So this is one to many association here. And another one here, many to one. So many to one here, if we focus here, list of user will contain one address. Getting the point. So list of users can contain one address, or here we can define the one more type here. Sorry. Multiple address can contain to the single user. Multiple address can contain to the single user. So this is another way to define here. So list of user can contain one address, or list of address can contain to the single user. So this particular list of addresses have here many addresses. Many addresses to having relation to the one user, or many users can contain the one address. Getting the point. And the final one here we will have a list of users can contain list of addresses. Getting the point. So this is the 4 relations we are having inside this particular Hibernate here. We'll try to understand the one by one. So first we'll check for the only one association here. So remaining, once we familiar with our the life states of this particular object here, we'll go for the remaining information here. Now observe, but just we need to understand how this particular the relations we are having whenever we are trying to work on our ORM tools here. And so in that we are trying to discuss our Hibernate here. Now observe, so basically whenever we change one side, the association is instantly reflected to the another side here. So for example here, if I'm going to change one side, if I'm trying to update the address information from the user level, so it needs to affect it to the address level as well here. The simple example here, previously we connected here. User dot get address. User dot get address or user dot set address. And now what I'm doing is I'm trying to providing address information. So whenever I'm trying to save this particular user information, the address table also it needs to be updated here, because Here we are having one-to-one relation here. The address ID, it needs to match it with the user table. But if you see, so for example, user having 1 and if the address is changed to the 2, so we cannot have the relation here. We cannot have a relation here. So the address 2 is pointing to the, so it may point into the different user here, right? But if you see, using this particular association, whenever we are trying to update, so one side of operation here, if I'm trying to update from the user level, it needs to be updated from the address level. Then only we are going to have the association perfectly. And whenever, like if I'm trying to work with any table, we can easily communicate with both direction here. So we can work on the bi-directional operations here instead of working on the unidirections here, right? So we'll see how we can work on this particular association to get the bi-directional operations here. Now observe here. Basically, the user is related to the particular address, or the address is related to this particular user. How we are going to understand with help of this particular IDs only, right? So now, we'll try to work on the two classes here to work on the simple association. To work on the simple association. Now, if you observe carefully, I want to create a class here. I want to create a class called, already I think we created item. Now we need to create a bid here. Getting the point. So this particular bid I'm trying to create. Now observe. So this particular ID I'm trying to create here, and now what I'm doing here. Here generated constructor here. Now you can see. So this particular bid class, we are making the relation with which class here? Item class here. Because already we created in the last class item, but item related example we did not discuss here. Now you can see, so item we created, and internally item is pointing to the category. So we'll discuss category related example later, but now focus the item class is having ID and name and description. So now back to here, this particular bid class here, we'll try to work on the item here. So how we can work with this particular bid and item to get the some information here. So getting the point. If you observe here, bid and item will have a many to one and one to many association here. Getting the point. So we'll work on the one to many and many to one association. So once we familiar with the one to one and one to many, we'll go for the one to one association and many to many association here. Right? So first we are focusing here. What are the one to many and many to one? Getting the point. So one to many and many to one we are focusing here. Okay. Observe here what is the one to many and many to one we are going to have. And inside this particular bit, what I created here, item. So item here is we are having only one here. Item we are having only one. But so the bits we are going to have multiple here. So where we are going to define this particular bits multiple here. Where we are going to define multiple bits here. Now, so observe one more column I want to write, and for this particular bit, what are the relations we can make? Let's see what is the value we can provide. Amount. You can define the amount here, and I want to generate setters and getters here, and item. So item also we generated. Now back to here, we'll go for the item class. So inside this particular item, now what I'm doing is, I'm trying to providing here one more setter here. one more this particular collection here, because we need a multiple bits here. The item we are going to have one, and multiple bits we are going to make here. And let me change here bit here. Bits here. So generate setters and getters here. We'll go for after add category. Now you can see, after add category, we are trying to generating bits information, right? Now, what you are understanding here we are getting multiple bits, and whenever I'm trying to move this particular bit, we are getting only one item, getting the point. So don't confuse here. So item, here the user, in place of user, we are connecting as a item. In place of this particular address, we are connecting as a bits here. So now you can see the bits we made as a set here. The bits we made as a set here. Okay. Now, so back to here, how we can make the join here. Getting the point. So we need to make the join. To make the join here, now what we can do, we need to create our mapping document here. We need to create our mapping document here. So what is the mapping document we can create? So bit.hbm.xml. Okay. Now, so what I will do, I will copy, mapping file here. I will copy this particular mapping file here. Okay. Now observe, package, here we need to change to the bit class. So bit table here, and it contains bit related information, and ID. ID also bit ID. And we are having the property amount, so string and not null constraints. Right. So we created this particular bit. But now, so what we need to do here we need to make the relation here. Correct one. So we need to make the relation with item class. Correct the point. So we need to make the relation with the item class. How we are going to make the relation? Here we are having many to one. Many to one. Because bits we are going to have many, and the item we are going to have one. Getting the point. And here, whatever the name we provided in our bits class, we need to provide the particular name here. We need to provide the particular name. And here, so this particular after name, we need to provide the column here. This column we need to add carefully. So whatever the column we added into the item class, the particular item class ID we need to provide. Item class ID we need to provide here. Getting the point. So as of now, I think we did not create a item.hbm file. Right? We'll create a item.hbm file here, but observe carefully, the column is important, because this particular column is going to play primary key and foreign key references whenever we are having this kind of association here. One to one or many to many. Whatever the association we are going to have, here we are going to make the ID, and we can go for the class here. This particular class we need to work on which class we are going to map with many to one association. The class here item. Observe carefully, if I am not adding this particular package here, we need to define the fully qualified name here. So getting the point. Now we are identified how much the advantage we are getting the package information here, right? So this is all about the column we defined, name of the item. So carefully observe, this name is coming from the inside this particular bit class, this item, right? And this particular item is a name of the class. This is the name of the class, and we can go for the not null constraint also, right? This is the way we can make the bit class mapping here, and finally we need to move on the what we can call it as a item. Item dot hbm.xml. Item dot hbm.xml. Now let me change here the name of the class here. Item. So table, we need to go for the item, and long here. So item ID. Item ID, and what are the information we are having inside this particular item. So as of now, we can go for this particular name, maybe it is a not null constraint here. We can go for the description. Sorry, not many to one. It is a property here. It is a simple property. Item description, type string not null. And here we need to work on the one to many join here. Getting the point? So we need to work on the one to many join here. So whenever we are working on the one to many join here, so this tag we are not going to use. This tag I am trying to make comment, and we are having set tag. What is the name of the set? Because we provided inside this particular item as a set tag here, and what is the name we provided here? Bits here. What is the name we provided? Bits here. Okay. So now we map it to the bits here. So in the item class also we need to map to the other table information. So that is we are trying to map. That is we are trying to map with set name here. And here, after setting this particular name, we need to provide the key column. Getting the point? So this particular key is going to work on the primary key and foreign key reference here. Primary key and foreign key reference. So what is the key column we are going to provide? The key column will provide as this particular item ID, because so whatever the one object we are going to have, so the one object we will make as a key here. The one object we are going to have a key. Okay, now after this particular key, we need to make one to many relation. One to many relation here, I want to make class. So this particular one to many we are going to connect with our bid class here. Getting the point? So this is the way we need to set our item related configuration. Getting the point? So this is very important. Now you can see item class we created. Item is having two properties. We connected with the two properties and a set tag. Why we provided set tag? Because we are having some collection of information. So we need to connect with our set tag, and internally we are connecting with the key. So this particular key is going to play as a primary key and foreign key reference here. Primary key for this particular item, foreign key this particular bid table here, right? And here we are having the association, we are having one to many. One here item here, many we are going to have bid. Now you can see inside this particular bid, so it is different here, many to one. Many here bids here, one here mapping here, one item. Okay, so this is all about the item and bid class. item and bid class. Okay, now what we can do, we'll create a examples here. So to create example, first what we need to do, here we need to go for the cfg dot add class. Here we need to provide the add class here. So what is the add class we can provide? First we need to provide bid class and after bid we can provide item here, right? And now what I will do, I will comment out this section of code here. Okay, and we'll try to define the item here. New item dot name here. So name of this particular item, what we can call it as a something called okay, and description here. The name of this particular item, what is the description we can provide? It will connect it to the something called iPhone some what we can some information I want to add. Okay, now you can see item we define. So here we need to go for the set of bits here. So to define this particular set of bits here, now what we can do, first we need to create a bits here. Getting the point. So multiple objects we need to create, and to create here, first I want to connect here set of bid here. New hash set here. Okay. After creating this particular hash set, now what we can do, we need to create a bid object. So amount here. Amount for this particular mobile phone. So 12,000 I want to give for particular item. Okay, and what I want to write here, I want to set this particular item. Okay, and same way I'm creating one more bid here. So to create a one more bid, now what we can do, I want to copy. So bid 2 here I want to create, and I want to provide 14,500. This is the bid 2, right? After providing this, we are having 2 bid records, 1 item. Now what we can do, so using this particular bids dot add bid 1 I added, and here I added bid 2. Carefully observe here, first we created First we created this particular item information, and later we are trying to create multiple bits records here. Now you can see bit 1 we created, and bit 2 we created here, and the 2 records we added into the particular collection of object called so bits dot add. Bits here we created as a hash set here. Finally the bits we set into the item here. So item we set to this particular bit, and this particular bit object is set to the item here. From the bit we are setting the item here. From the item we are setting the bits. Getting the point. So two-way we added the communication here. Now finally what we can do here, we need to save item. Here we need to save item here. Now if I'm going to run this particular example, how many records we are expecting? In the bits table we are expecting 2 records. In the item table we are expecting 1 record. So something we got an exception here. Now we need to say, so insert into Hibernate sequence here, bid. What happened here? Save the transit instead pressing. Okay, unsave the transit instead. Basically, now if you observe here, we are getting only one side we save the object here, but another side we did not save the object here. Okay, now what we can do to save another side here, can we add bits here? Okay. Now you can see here I'm trying to save both side here. Still we are getting an exception. Oh, so mapping exception we are getting here. Directly we can't save this particular bits here. So we can go for bit 1 and bit 2. So I will explain here, without adding this to 3 objects also we can go for the object information, but now we will see all the records are inserted here. Getting the point. So we are having 3 sequence are generated here. Item table is created, and bit table, and one more bit table, and it is updated bit table here. Getting the point. So this is the way the 3 records are inserted here. Finally, now what we can do, we need to understand the sorry, select star from. So item we are having only 1 here. Item we are having only 1. Okay, now what we can do, so we need to focus on the bid here. The bid here we need to see 2 records here. Now you can see 4 and 5. 4 and 5. So for the 4 we provided 12,000. For 5 we provided 15,500. But now if you see the item ID we are having 3 only. The item ID we are having 3 only. Getting the point. So if you want to see what is the item we can identify, so that is called mobile phone. The mobile phone we are going to get to 12,000 as well as 14,500 here. So this is the way we can make the many to one and one to many. Getting the point. So now we'll go for this particular many to one, one to many and many to one here. How we identify this particular item we identified here, and here we focus on the bid classes information, right? And so we connected the simple example. So any questions regarding this particular one to many and many to one, one to many and many to one? Okay. So if we observe carefully here, now what happens internally? So we identified here the same primary key is working with foreign key information on the other table called bid here. And whenever we are trying to work on the this particular object information, so we need to save these many objects here. Now what I will do here, I'm going to make the inverse here. So we are having one inverse concept here. What it will do, it will try to take care of the bidirectional association here. It will take care of the bidirectional association here. Inside this particular set, we'll have a inverse here. By default, this particular inverse we are having false here. We need to make true here. Getting the point. So we need to make this particular true. Now observe, we'll go for the main class, and I don't want to focus on these two here. I don't want to focus on these two sections here. Now observe, if I'm going to run the same example here, so any error we got here. But now, so we need to understand here the data, the data is inserted or not into item. So item, we're having 6 here, but we need to focus in the, in the bid. So the bid related information is not inserted here. The bid related information, it is not inserted. Only the item is inserted. Inside this particular item, we are having one more record here. So with 6, we are having one record here. But what about this particular item related information? Right. Now observe, here we need to change some information. So what is the information we can provide? Now I'm not going to create this particular hash set here. I'm not going to create this particular hash set here. So directly how I'm trying to creating here. I'm creating here bits dot set item be provided here. Bits dot set item be provided here. And finally, now what we can do, here, let me understand here item. Item dot get of bits dot add. And so this is also we don't need. Sorry. Right. So here we change here. Now observe how we can run the same example. We'll see how many. No, only one SQL is generated here. Let's see. Item. So 7 is created. Only 2 records. Okay. Now so we need to save this particular bid here. Okay. So after adding one more here, I want to check here whether this particular, without adding the bid, it's going to work or not. Inside this particular item, I want to provide. So inverse we made, but after adding inverse also, it's not working here. Now we'll focus on the one more information here. Cascade. Cascade here. Save hyphen update. First we'll understand here without adding this whether we can insert into the both directional or not. Now observe, The 3 records are inserted here. Getting the point? Now we will see one more 2 records are inserted with the 9 and 10 and the item 8 here. Okay. So 8 record. This particular 8 record is associated with our bid here. Now you can see 8 record here. Getting the point? So this is the way we can work with the bidirectional operations. To work on this particular bidirectional operations here, first we need to focus on the these two items here. First we need to focus inverse 2. Why we need to make inverse 2 here? Because whenever we are trying to updating or whenever we are trying to inserting, so we need to work on the other table here. So to work on the other table, first we need to update the inverse here. And here the cascade here, what kind of operation we want to, like whatever the data we want to update. So this particular cascade is going to provide the information. We want to update. So only for updation, it needs to take the bidirectional operation. For deletion, it's not going to take. For deletion, only one side table only it perform the operation here. Right, because what is the cascade we are working here? Save hyphen update here. But whenever we are making cascade all here, all the operations like insertion, updation, deletion, all the operations is going to work on the in the both tables here. In the both tables here. So this is getting the point. So this is very important. We need to understand whenever we are trying to work on this particular bidirections with the help of this particular inverse and cascade here. Inverse and cascade here. Okay. So any questions regarding this particular many to one and one to many with the help of this particular inverse cascade? We identified the some example here. Okay. So if we don't have anything here, now what we will do? We try to understand this particular different types of the cascades here. So we can go for the save or update whenever we want to perform the save or update operations. Otherwise, we can go for the all here. All means it will applicable to the all operations here. Okay, or we can go for the deletion here. We can go for the deletion, so it will affect only the deleted information here. It will not update the other table whenever we are trying to inserting or updating here. Okay, so this is all about the many to one and one to many association. And so we'll try to continue tomorrow with the help of this particular life cycle here. So how exactly the objects it's going to associate with the database here, and what are the life cycle we are having here? We are having transient, persistent, and detached. These three are the main life cycle we are having, and how this particular each and every the life cycle is going to work. In the tomorrow session, we are going to discuss about the life cycle. So once we familiar with the life cycle here, we'll try to connect our application with the help of some transactions here, and finally we go for the query and criteria related example here. Okay, so most probably in the 2 days we'll try to close up the our Hibernate concepts here. Okay, if you don't have anything regarding our today's session, we'll continue tomorrow.
Actually, I wanted to ask, can you please tell how can we learn complete full stack Java?